Guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Have you ever felt like I'm in a rut? I do not know where to begin or where I am headed, and you just think that you need a fresh start? Join me as I share my top tricks on how I navigate such terrain and come out anew. So let's identify our why. Why do you need a fresh start? I remember a season in my life where I would always feed myself with negative feedbacks, thus feeding negative emotions, and then becoming all worked up negatively. It affected every area of my life. Every single area of my life was affected by it. And I knew I had to get help. No questions asked. Vera, get help. And I got help. And it helped me turn my life around. So, why do you need a fresh start? Identifying your why can help you begin to pinpoint the areas where you need to begin again. Recognizing the signs that says it's a fresh start, such as feeling stuck or stagnant, feeling a lack of motivation or enthusiasm, you have a change in your priorities or your values and you feel so unhappy or unfulfilled. What exactly is the fresh start that you need? I mean, not every area of your life requires a fresh start. Not every area of your life requires an overhaul and then starting all over again. So sometimes you just need to sit back and work it out. At other times, you need to have honest, difficult conversations with those around you. And sometimes these conversations have to be with yourself. You need to identify what your what is. A working definition for fresh start. A fresh start is a new beginning, a chance to start anew and make a positive change in one's life. It involves leaving the past behind, letting go of negative thoughts and emotions and habits, and embarking on a new journey with a renewed sense of purpose, energy, and optimism. To me, at that time, a fresh start meant that I needed to do a complete overhaul of my thoughts and my emotions. I realized that these negative thoughts I was feeding myself were just a script, and I actually could rewrite that script to tell myself or feed myself with positive thoughts. Instead of saying, I can't do this, I would say, I don't know what to do here, but I will have to figure it out. What do I need to do? Learn something, ask a question, or read a book. I have to figure that out. So I started to practice what we all refer to as mindfulness in this age and time. Mindfulness is a technique where you are completely intentional about everything and anything. You leave nothing to chance. Yes, once in a while, chance happens. You have no control over everything, but then you are able to navigate your situation from there. When you have completely realized what your fresh start needs to be, you ask yourself, what could be the hindrance towards my fresh start? For me at that time, I realized that my mind was my biggest enemy at that point. And I equally knew that it can equally become my greatest ally. I had to face my mind. I looked at all the scenarios that would probably come up in my life at that time that will warrant me to feed myself negative thoughts. And I started to watch out for these situations. And when it happens, I will just change the narrative by giving myself something positive to chew on, something positive to believe. I mean, it was a script I was writing for myself. So I was able to do that in the interim and I watched my progress. Now you know why you need a fresh start. You know why you need a fresh start. What is the driving force? Here is the tricky part. Because the driving force could be positive and the driving force could be negative. So you actually need to take your time to figure that out. For me at that time, my own driving force was born from the need to conquer negative thoughts and live a life of purpose. So it meant that I needed to step out of my comfort zone, learn a bunch of new skills along the way, and then build my confidence level each time as I moved ahead. Now, for you, it could be something different. There are other aspects to this, and that is when someone is completely being avoidant of responsibility. That is, you are trying to sidestep your own responsibility, or you are just running away. sometimes we actually just want to run away from our responsibility. And if that is your driving force, you actually don't need a fresh start. What you need is the ability to sit down and walk through the knots. At other times, it could just be that you are at the end of a particular season in life and you are about to begin a new season. It could equally be that simply unsatisfied with the results you got. Maybe you were expecting like 100% and you got 80, and you've been on the 80 treadmill for a while and it's becoming stifling and you don't want to remain there. So that is why you begin to feel this bubble of emotions, thinking that you need a fresh start. Actually, what you need to do is isolate the feeling, think about what you have done thus far, and think about what you need to add on to give you that extra 20% that you have actually been looking for. Now that you know what you need to change and what you actually need a fresh start for, you set your new goals. And setting your goals require some goal setting techniques. Narrow it down. This helps to make you focus. You focus on what needs to be done. Mine at that time was to build a new sense of purpose for the kind of life I wanted to live. And then yours could be different things. You just need to settle down and figure it out. Creating a plan of action is the next thing you need to do. When you have set the goals, what do I need to do to see that I go for it? I don't slack. You create a plan of action. There's a saying that a man that does not plan plans to fail. So you make a plan. You may not necessarily stick to that plan 100% because life happens. But then 70 to 90% of the time you get to be on track. I read this book by James Clear. I think it's Atomic Habits. Yes, Atomic Habit by James Clear. And he says taking small intentional steps towards your direction can amount to a huge amount of changes in a long run. So think about it more like our traditional saying of little drops of water make the mighty ocean. So think of the little things you need to do every single day. For me, what I do, my best approach is what I do on a daily basis accumulates to become what I do on a weekly basis until I get to where I actually want to be. I like that approach so much because it doesn't overwhelm me. It doesn't bring on the sense of, oh, this is too much. So take one goal, only one, and work with it. There was something very fantastic I had learned in one of my goal setting classes, and it was the importance of evaluation. Now, many of us live life without evaluating, and that is so terrible. What do I mean? After your day, you sit down, you try to think of everything that you had done for the entire day. Did you do it right? What could you have done better? You evaluate all that you had done for that day, and once you have done that, you can now be intentional about your tomorrow. I don't know what it's called, but it's this game, sort of like an analog game. The setting of the game gives you bricks of different shapes, and you have to carefully stack them and be intentional about where you need to put the next brick that is coming. It's translated into real life events, like saying, when you see what is coming up front, you just have to quickly figure out where to put that brick immediately without having it upset too many things about your life. Let me call this phase rebuilding. You are handed bricks in life. You take these bricks and you find the most suitable spot to place them in. While this is happening, the best thing you can do is to be kind to yourself. Practice self-compassion. Don't be so hard on yourself. We are all our worst critic. You think somebody can criticize you so bad, just wait until you start to criticize yourself. Stay away from stress. It is one thing to be very busy, and it is another thing to be stressed up. Figure out what your stress factor is, and as much as possible, try to minimize them. Part of my affirmation is, I don't do overwhelm. I don't do stress. I don't begin to bargain with them. Sometimes there are situations where you are not able to meander. You just have to cruise through it without leaving yourself so stressed out. The best way to do this is actually to start small. Try not to get your focus to be so big, so overwhelming. Learn to delegate. There are some things you can actually delegate, but there are others that you have to handle by yourself. Try to figure those things out. Know what you have to handle by yourself. know what you have to ask for help for. The entire focus of it is keep it small. When it is small, trick your mind to actually thinking that it is nothing. Maybe when you have finished it, you're like, wow, I did this. This was so huge. Who are those in your circle? Fill your circle with positive-minded people, cheering you on from the sidelines, they're holding your hand, they're praying you through a particular journey. They can be there telling you, oh, do this. I suggest you think about this. There are people that are reinforcing you positively. In one word, no room for toxicity. Find people who inspire you, people that uplift you, mentors, teachers. These people have walked through certain paths that you are still going to walk. They came out of it. So they have one or two tricks up their sleeves. They have one or two insights that they can share with you. They have one or two things that they can possibly say to you that will help you navigate such journey with ease. They may not be in the same geographical space with you thanks to the internet. You may not have 100% access to them, but walk from where you are from the sideline. Look at their lives, observe it, be a keen listener and a keen learner. Try to pick all that you can. Be selfish and intentional about your learning. Read books, attend seminars. Thanks to YouTube, watch videos, learn, digest what you have learned, and practice. Practice makes perfect. The person that said this was very wise. Practice makes perfect. Don't think about the perfection at the beginning. Just walk through the knot. As you practice, you begin to feel more grounded, more confident in your ability to do the things that you need to do to become better. And that's a wrap, guys. Thank you for watching. And as you go on, remember that it's okay to stumble. When you fall, don't stay down. Rise again like the warrior that you are and move on. You are strong. You are capable of rebuilding again. You've got this. Keep pushing. Keep moving. And I'll see you at the finish line. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to share this video. If you have those in your space who needs to hear this, please share with them. Bye.